Good morning students. Welcome to the first video lesson of History Class 6. We will start chapter number 16. The topic is Early Pakistan. We will cover the information given on page number 76 and 77. The time duration of the lesson is 35 minutes and the resources required are Secondary Social Studies Book 1, Notebook and Pens. Let's see how much do you know about the history. What is a civilization? Yes, a civilization is an advanced society with agriculture, division of labor, multiple cities, organized religion, science, technology, some form of government, and a written language. Now, which civilization is believed to be the first civilization of the world? Yes, it is Mesopotamia. Can you name a few other civilizations of the world? Indus Valley civilization, Egyptian civilization, Chinese civilization, and many more. Now let's review the objectives of the day. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to discuss the importance of Khyber Pass in history of the subcontinent. Explore the impact of frequent invasions in the subcontinent. Explore the extent of Indus Valley civilization and explore the structure of the ancient city of Mohenjo-daro. Now, first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to watch a video which is going to give you a lot of information about Mohenjo-daro.
Mohenjo-daro was built around 2500 BC, about the same time the Great Pyramids were being built in Egypt, and it spanned a surface area of nearly 500 acres, an incredible size for a city of this time period. Because of Mohenjo-daro's grand scale, archaeologists believe it may have served as a seat of power for the Indus civilization. The city was divided into two districts, the Citadel and the Lower Town. The Citadel is home to the city's exceptional monuments, including the Great Bath, a 900 square foot tank fed from the Indus River. Mohenjo-daro also had a sophisticated water system. Houses had baths and toilets, and the town featured both an elaborate sewage system and fresh water in 700 wells throughout the city. The Roman baths, some of history's most famous waterway systems, weren't constructed until many hundreds of years after Mohenjo-daro's Great Bath. Mohenjo-daro has no places of worship or governance, such as palaces, royal tombs, or temples. This may indicate that the society was not built around state interests like the Egyptian and Mesopotamian societies at the time. Rather, the class structure of Mohenjo-daro may have been relatively equal. The city's second district, the Lower Town, may demonstrate the society's egalitarian structure. The Lower Town, with its intricate water system, was home to between 20,000 to 40,000 people. Unlike many urban areas of its time, it was laid out in a grid system similar to modern-day city blocks. After approximately 600 years, the city collapsed. No one is quite sure why, but the cause could potentially have been a change within the culture, or in the path of the river. Without its crucial source of water, the city's residents may have moved away, leaving Mohenjo-daro nearly abandoned. In 1911, nearly 4,000 years after the city fell into ruin, archaeologists paid their first visit. The ensuing decades of excavations have unearthed countless clues that tell the tale of Mohenjo-daro, but it still holds secrets for us to discover.
So it was an interesting video. Now let's see how much do you remember from the video. Which civilization does the city of Mohenjo-daro belong to? Yes, it is Indus Valley civilization. How many districts was the city divided into? Yes, it was divided into two districts. What were these districts? Citadel and Lower Town. What was the significant feature of Citadel? Great Bath. Which places of worship were found from Mohenjo-daro? There were no places of worship which were found from the ruins. Now, do you know who were the first people to enter the subcontinent from northwest? Yes, they were Aryans who entered the subcontinent in 15,000 BCE through the Khyber Pass. Now, what is BCE? BCE means before Common Era. It is used in place of BC. Can you answer who followed Aryans and settled here permanently? There were Persians in 500 BC, Greeks in 300 BC, Scythians in 60 BC, Parthians in 1 BC or AD 1, Kushans in AD 50, Huns in AD 470, Ghaznavids in AD 990, Ghoris in AD 1200, Mongols in AD 1220, and Mughals in AD 1526. And they all entered the subcontinent through Khyber Pass. So it means Khyber Pass has its historical importance that different invaders came to the subcontinent through this way. Now, who were the original inhabitants of the subcontinent? Yes, they were Dravidians. Dravidians were the original inhabitants of the subcontinent. Now let's see the extent of the Indus Valley civilization. You can see this shaded area in pink color, and it is highlighted with the red color line. So this area shows us the extent of Indus Valley civilization, and two important cities of this civilization are also highlighted here, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. So this is the extent of the Indus Valley civilization. Now let's see a few basic facts about the Indus Valley civilization. Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were the two great cities of Indus Valley civilization. Inhabitants of these cities were called Dravidians. Mohenjo-daro was about 7 kilometers all round, and the smaller streets of the city often had Z bends. Now, why do you think that the streets were zigzag or had a Z bend? Yes, the zigzag streets are thought to minimize the effect of winds which funneled along them. The structure of the city, the houses were made of mud bricks and often had rooms on the upper level. Now you can imagine that in such an old time, having the architecture of that sort, where they had two portions of the houses, they constructed the upper portion also. So you can imagine that how modern the civilization and the architecture was and how planned they were. Richer houses had bathrooms with baths made of clay and lined with tar to make them waterproof. These emptied into covered drains which ran down the streets. An artificial hill made of bricks is also found in the center of the city. You can see that artificial hill in this picture. The Great Bath is also found in this area, in the same area where this artificial hill is located. It was a huge bath with steps leading to it. You can see this is a huge bath and steps leading to it here. These are the steps which are leading to this bath. Now this Great Bath, we do not actually know what was the purpose of this, but few archaeologists, they believe that it might be used for the religious purposes, people might go to these baths to clean themselves, and it might have been used for the religious purposes. Now let's see what we have learned today. What is the importance of Khyber Pass in the history of subcontinent? Where were the traces of Indus Valley civilization found? What was the structure of the houses of Mohenjo-daro? What is the Great Bath? What might be the use of it? Now let's check your answers. What is the importance of Khyber Pass in the history of subcontinent? Different conquerors entered the subcontinent through the Khyber Pass. Where were the traces of Indus Valley civilization found? They were found in Sindh. What was the structure of the houses of Mohenjo-daro? The houses were made of mud bricks and often had rooms on the upper level. Richer houses had bathrooms with baths made of clay and lined with tar to make them waterproof. These emptied into covered drains which ran down the streets. What is a Great Bath? It is a pool found from the ruins of Mohenjo-daro. What might be the use of it? It might have been used for religious purposes. Now let's see, what are you going to practice, or how are you going to practice? Your first task is to read page number 76 and 77 till second last paragraph. This line indicates that you have to read this page from here, page number 76, and then you have to end here on page number 77. Task number 2 is to complete question number 1 from page number 78 in your notebooks. This is the question which you need to complete. Reading about Mohenjo-daro, how would you describe the city? So I hope you have got quite good information about Mohenjo-daro today and you enjoyed the lesson. Have a good day.